That little bloke is a hermit crab, but he's living in what was once a very dangerous shell. That's one of the typical cone shells, one of the poisonous species that live on this reef. If the original owner of that shell was in there, he could whip out a little scalpel blade type device and inject me with a poison that would probably kill me in about 4 hours. So if you ever see anything shaped remotely like that and patterned like that on the reef, don't touch it. We tend to think of shellfish as a fairly small class of creature here on the Great Barrier Reef. There are exceptions, of course, like the giant clam. But have a look at this bloke. Have a little bit of trouble wearing that round your neck on a chain. Incredible. And the animal that wore that on its back must have been about half a foot longer. Massive. This is actually an Australian trumpet shell and is in fact the largest gastropod on Earth. Quite spectacular. With the tide pushing us off the reef flat, we had just about enough of the day left to explore a bit further afield. Apart from anything else, a few more of those mud crabs would be very welcome. And the best place to start looking for those was in here. This looks for all the world like a freshwater creek, but it's not at all. It is in fact one of several tidal races, and it's draining a large lagoon that takes up most of the interior of this whole island. It's a fascinating place because it's different. One of the things we hope to find are some more of those mud crabs in there. We did any wading in this place very cautiously. Being only a few miles from a tropical wilderness coastline, this lagoon, we suspected and later confirmed, was full of crocodiles as well as crabs. Plenty of evidence of them, Vic. These little hutches here and the holes seem to be everywhere.
Yeah, just you can see cuttlefish shells there.
Yeah. Down the...
Low.
Look at that. Sitting in little hutches.
Yeah. Now watch him, he's well and truly alive.
Oh. Try and hook him out of that little hutch there. Oh, he's well in there. Okay, I might even be able to just plonk him straight in, Vic. Oh. Don't let them eat each other. To fishermen especially, mangroves like these are very important. Not only are they fish nurseries and essential to other creatures like mud crabs, but they're at the very beginning of a vital food chain, dropping tons of dead leaves into the water each year on which bacteria feed. Mangroves are also fascinating habitats just to be in, especially for explorers like Vic.
In my own case, the thing that I've always enjoyed most has been exploring, more than anything else. If any one thing really turns me on, is to go into some river that not only I have never been into before, but virtually nobody else has ever been into before. And when you get into that sort of a situation, you can put in a lot of time in one stream or one island. I could put in a lot of time right here on this one little island. I've always gone looking for additional things, additional species, and also, of course, trying to understand what I'm seeing.
I bet that feels a whole lot more comfortable.
With all that good out.
Yeah, that's the very next thing I'm going to do when I get half a chance, is take all that sand and stuff out of my feet. Oof. Hey, look at this. Got a good one here. It's got little marks and coral rubble, everything behind
He
it.
hasn't been there lately. He certainly looks like it.
This might have to be an ambush job, mate.
Grab him with the gaff just pressed down on top of him.
Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, geez, I know how to hook into the corners. Here he is, in there. Here he comes.
You might have different ideas.
Well, undoubtedly he has. This must be a bit of a rude shock to him. Here he is. Get underneath you. Oh, a beauty. Ripper.
Just watch out in case he sheds that food.
Fantastic. Oh, that's good.
Huh.
How about that?
Okay.
Good to have a wind.
Yeah. Listen, I'll just as soon get out and check on the dinghy. See what
Okay.
happened with
Much
the
of the
tide.
charm of wilderness trips like this is genuinely getting away from it all and not just hauling it all along with you, doing without the comforts of home, but reveling in the special opportunities being part of the wild presents, like living off the land in harmony with it.
Well, fishing could have been a little bit brighter this morning, but altogether, it hasn't been a bad sort of a day, has it?
The crabs rounded things out rather nicely.
Yeah, finding them was a bit of a highlight. Well, eating them would be a highlight.
How do you figure on treating them?
Well, we haven't got a billy big enough to put them all in, so how about we try an Aboriginal style? I'll just rake out a few low coals and we'll bake them in their shells right there. Tastes beautiful.
Of course, you
really.
realise we could use them for cod bait.
The cods aren't getting anywhere near those, mate. I'll tell you that right now. Cods can live with bits of old fish. Well, that's one. I'll give him a few minutes on that side and then turn him over.
Got room for a third?
I think so.
Great.
Oh, we'll test them after 2 minutes anyway and see how we go.
They're turning rather nicely red where they put them. They look like cooked crab.
Yeah. They look done perfectly, Vic.
The dead right colour.
Perfect, Vic. Look at that.
That's what people pay, what, $25 a head for.
$25 each down on the big smoke.
Only when they get stuck, I think.
So simple just to cook them on a fire like that, you know. They are great.
Well gone. I could use a pair of pliers.
Hey?
I could use a pair of pliers.
Perhaps the only vision more beautiful than a tropical sunset in this paradise is a tropical sunrise. And all that was wrong with this one was that it heralded the beginning of our last day here. If there's a drawback to trips like this, it is that they come to an